Today is a tea day because I was listening to a video earlier that somebody sent me, and I tell you, I have never heard so much whining in my life. So I call these the whining points from the video. As you know, I never say who the person is. Now, some of you may have heard this video, so you may know who this individual is, but I never ever say their name. I just say, I just talk about what they said, because I'm not trying to get them no pub. So let me first say what he was talking about was how he feels that there's a certain segment of the black male population that are so ignored by women that they feel that they're invisible. And he seemed to be really hurt about it. I mean, just like you're gonna make a whole video talking about how women ignore you and why they ignore you and stuff. I mean, that's some like therapy moment for dude. As a matter of fact, I remember now, he did say that this shit is therapeutic, man. He said it at the very beginning of the video. I forgot. So yeah, it was like he's having this like online free purging session when he should be on a couch, a couch in a shrink's office some damn where. But let me just talk about what dude was saying. So I took like copious notes, and then because I'm trying to be better, I actually typed them so I could actually read what I wrote and what I wanted to say. It's like a miracle. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, he says large numbers of men walk down the streets of America and no woman looks their way, not even a glance. 100 of 100 women will give him no attention, but these are the same women who complain that there are no good men available. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make I'm going to say what he said, and then I'm going to make my comments on what he said. Okay, because you're walking down the street and because somewhere in your mind you have perceived yourself as a quote good black man, what the fuck does that mean? What makes you good? What makes you exceptional? Why should a woman look at you? Are you like fabulous looking? I mean, are you fine as fuck? Are you built up like, exceptional? What? I mean, what is it about you that would make a woman stop doing what she's doing, thinking about what she's doing, the grocery list in her mind, she's, whatever she's budgeted in her checkbook, I mean, whatever she's thinking about, picking up her kids from daycare, the fight she had with her mama, I mean, what? She's thinking about stuff, right? So she's doing her thing, but you want her to stop doing her thing to look at you and acknowledge you so that you feel like, you're part of something bigger and better than what you really are. Okay, where do you get that from? What makes you think that she owes you a look? Okay, let's start there. Why does she owe you a look? What is it that makes you be all in your feelings because no woman who's a complete stranger, changes her role in her life and what she's doing to look at you? Really? And you just got, you all in your feelings about that. See, the entitlement of these dudes, it's like, I just can't get past it. It's like they make so many videos whining about what women don't do that they want them to do, and it's like, and they'd be all butthurt about it. It's unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, where's my butthurt video? I think I'll put a link right up there. So then he says, so he's all sad because don't want nobody to look at his little ugly dweeby ass. So then he says, well, unless you're over 6 feet tall or making six figures or better, and you have to be a bad boy to protect her and make her feel safe, then you don't rate. You have to be tall, handsome, and rich, and if not, you get settled for. But even when she is with you, she will still desire the 6 foot tall dude. Okay. How many women are like 5'1", 2, 5 feet, 4'11", 5? Okay, me, I mean, of course, in my mind, I'm tall. I always wanted to be 5'7", but I'm only 5'5". So what would I look like demanding that I'm gonna only be with a man 6? I mean, I have had boyfriends that were that tall because they tend to like women who are my height. I mean, that's not my fault. That's their choice. They picked me, okay? And because them tall dudes like women who are shorter than them, I mean, what you want here? I mean, the dude likes us. He asks our number, we go out with him. the fact that he's 6 feet tall is irrelevant. It's because he liked us. And that he was, he had conversation, he had something to offer and something to talk about. What do? You get on YouTube and make videos of bitching and moaning about why women won't talk to you. What kind of conversation do you have? What do you have to offer? It's just crazy. Okay, so then he says, that's what I'm like, okay, he must be broke. He must be ugly, and he must be short like a little Smurf dude, because those are the things he all through his video he was complaining about, that women don't want to look at that. And I'm like, there's so many short women, and I see them all the time with their little boyfriends who's like 2 or 3, 5 inches taller than them. So these dudes are way under 6 feet tall. I don't know what he's talking about, but I think it's more personal. I think there's something wrong with him, and I think I'm right, because as I go through this, you'll hear what I'm saying. Okay, so point 3, whining. Point 3. You work hard and you succeeded at least somewhat, and she will settle for you, but she'll regret it deeply in the end. She will always feel an attraction for the bad boy, and she will cheat on you because she gets bored. She will always be waiting for that tall guy to find her and whisk her away from her predictable, boring blue-collar man. I was like, oh my God, dude is so in his feelings. I mean, just like, oof. I could just hear violins playing. But the fact that you're short, or that whatever you was complaining about, your blue collarness, that's not why women get bored. I mean, think of all the women who are in relationships with dudes. I mean, they work like retail jobs and stuff. They're blue collar themselves. What the fuck are you talking about? You're talking crazy. You're just looking for an excuse to blame women for you not being what women want, when instead you need to focus on fixing up yourself, changing whatever the fuck is wrong with you that makes women not want to look at you. I mean, this is not rocket science. There's something wrong with you. And a lot of it, I think, is this fucked up attitude. It's like it permeates your being. It's like women can, we are like spiritual creatures. We can, like, the energy that you exude is so negative and nasty. No woman wants to talk to you. She don't want to be close to you. She don't want that shit jumping like fleas off of you onto her. She's like, nah, I don't want no parts of this. I want a man who's happy and full of joy and laughter and brightness and light. That's not you. And that's why the women don't want to be around you. You're like a dark cloud, like an Eeyore or something. And you just like make people sick, and people have enough struggle and strife and stress in their lives. Who you think want to be in a relationship with somebody who's down and out and looking all pitiful and glum like you? Oh my God. I mean, for real, I think it's a miracle that I have to break this down and tell you this. As a matter of fact, let me show you my new cup. Let me see if it could show you. Oh, it's too white. I guess it's not gonna show you. But anyway, what it says is, I don't spew profanities. I enunciate them clearly like a fucking lady. Is this not my cup? Was this cup not made for me? Okay. So then he says, because like, you just think about blue collar men. I mean, what somebody does for work doesn't mean that that's who they are. There are plenty of dudes who, all they did was study and they became like some kind of professional, but they are the most boring fucks you could ever meet in your life. They don't have any kind of conversation that's not related to their field of work. And, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to like experience anything. And then you have some guys who are just regular. I mean, they have like a job like a mechanic. They work for, the gas company or garbage collector or, whatever. I mean, they have some kind of like, they're a contractor. I mean, some kind of job where they're out and around people a lot. They know how to socialize. They have friends. They know how to laugh. They do, go to card parties and bowling and things and barbecues and stuff like that. And they are a lot of fun. No, they might not be the most intellectual dudes, but you still have such a great time with them that you want to be around them. And that's what this guy and people who think like him are not understanding. It has nothing to do with what the man does for work. It has everything to do with his personality and mindset. That's why women get into relationships, not for what work you do. Oh, just stupid. Okay, so then whining point number 4. In some cases, she would rather be the side chick to the tall, rich dude than the #1 woman of the boring, integral man. Oh yeah, I forgot. He kept using that word, integral. Now I think what he meant was someone with integrity, but he was calling it unintegral and and I was like, what? It took me a minute to figure out what I think he was meaning, and I'm really still not sure, but that's my best guess. And so then he says, you know, she would rather be the side chick of a loser than someone of value. How pitiful, he says. What a shame, he whined, because you still desire and chase her. Okay, so now this is when it got real interesting, because then you got to look at, okay, what is it that what these women are that he's looking at? I mean, you say that the women, you still desire them. That means that you're overreaching. That's what I mean. I've said this before to the dudes. You have to stay in your envelope. It's like if you want success with women, you have to be a realistic assessment of what this looks like right here. Okay, what does this look like? You know, you looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy and shit. Your ass, and you know, and your face is like toe up mug, looking like a cartoon character or something like that. You're not gonna get no woman who's past maybe a 6 on a good day. Okay, a good day. So you complaining that those women won't give you the time of day, that means you're still overreaching. So if you got women of 5 or 6 won't give you the time of day, that means your ass needs to stay in the 2 to 3 range, and then you can get some action. That's your reality check right there. So don't get online complaining. You know, drop your expectations down to something that's more reality that matches with what you are, and then you could get it. Now, you know, all my men was 9s and 10s, if not 12s, because I got it like that. But, you know, I mean, what can I say? Yeah, I'm older. Don't, before you even say it, I'll say I'm older, but I still got it like that. Because I'm me. You ain't me. You wish you was me. Okay, so let's go on to whining point number 5. These women will look right past the man 5'7" or shorter, the guy who makes $17 an hour, to hear her say it, you are undateable and unmarriageable until she is over 30 with a bunch of kids and been ran through. They love that phrase. What the fuck does that mean? That means, in order for you to be considered an acceptable mate for one of these little raggedy ass, whining ass, short, little ugly motherfuckers, you supposed to have sat on your hands doing like this for the last 40 years, 30 years, whatever, waiting for him to pick you. That's what he's trying to say. So the fact that you was out there doing your thing, fucking, having fun, going on dates, you know, getting married, getting divorced, living with your boyfriend, whatever you was doing, see, they call that being run through, because your pussy is not pristine and virginal, and, you know, it's had some action from other men that were not them. So when you see a guy who's like this, what I can tell you what the man is, very sexually insecure. He's very insecure, period. Because he's more worried about who's been there before him than he's worried about what kind of impact he can make. Because it's just like getting a job, okay? You don't worry about the employees that had the job before you, or the people that got fired, or the people that quit. And you know what? You don't worry about that. You worry about, okay, I'm gonna get this job, and I'm gonna come in here, and I'm gonna roll this shit out, and I'm gonna get a promotion, and I'm gonna get a raise, and I'm gonna make some shit happen that they ain't never seen before. Okay, there's 2 ways to approach it. I have the latter attitude, like, you know, can't nobody touch me. I'm gonna come in here and just wow these folks and knock their socks off, and when I leave here, they're gonna be talking about me for the next 20 years. Yeah, remember when Deborah used to work here? See, that's how I am. But he's the opposite. He's worried about, you know, what happened in the past, and he's so focused on worrying about that, he's not gonna make any impression in the present, because he's too focused on what happened, you know, last year, last week, 20 years ago. He's thinking about that kind of stuff. See, that's just stupid to me. That makes no sense. And I mean, $17 an hour, I guess in some parts of the country that might be, you know, considered a, you know, decent wage. Here in the Bay Area, that's chump change. And he kept talking about the dude, you know, or maybe it's a little later in my notes, you know, the woman wants a dude that makes 6 figures. There's people here that working for Google and different places like that, living in San Francisco. They're making $140,000, $150,000 a year and still broke. You know why? Because rents in San Francisco are $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Okay, that's more than most of y'all make in a year. You know what I mean? That $60,000, $70,000, you don't even make that much in a year. These people are paying that much in rent. So, you know, their other little money, when we take out taxes and all that stuff, I mean, you know, they got to contribute to their health care costs and commute costs and all, food and lights and all this stuff. You know, you make $130,000, $140,000, $150,000 a year, you still broke. And that's what they don't understand. You know, the amount, you can't just say a flat amount. It's going to depend on what part of the country that you live in. And in the San Francisco Bay Area, $17 an hour ain't shit. You're going to have to live in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, 2 people in a room, in order for you to have any kind of money to do anything other than pay rent and eat. That's pretty much it. That's the reality of living in this area. Okay, so I mean, I just looked at him when he was talking about, $100,000. I'm like, okay, and I mean, that ain't shit. I mean, not around here. That ain't nothing. Okay, so then he says, well, she will even date a man 10 years younger because he is exciting. What's wrong with that? Nobody says she's getting married. She's dating him. And it's like, I've dated dudes 20 years younger than me, and hell yeah, it was exciting. Fun as fuck. It was great. Okay? And, because they're not all twisted up and fucked up in the head. And they like the fact that somebody with my stature would pay attention to them. It's nice to feel like you're on a pedestal. And they looking up to you and like awe and awe that you even talk to them and shit. That shit is a big ego boost. So it's like, when you have a situation like this, I mean, dudes like to date women that's 10, 15, 20, 30 years younger than them. Why is it so bad for a woman to do the same thing? Especially if you got it like this. You can do that. You can get away with that. And you have younger dudes always try to catch up to you and talk to you. And I don't understand what the problem is and why he's so envious of a woman who can do that. He just shut up and stop being a hater. Okay. So then he's like, the good man is an invisible man. The guy who drives a Camry instead of a Benzo, who can't afford to put 22s on his car and have a Chevy Impala. Well, maybe he could buy one in 10 years, but now. I drive a Honda. So, I mean, on that particular part, I am in agreement with him. But, I mean, if a dude, wants to drive a Benzo and he wants to put 22s on his car and women are into that, so what? I mean, how is that hurting you? You know what I mean? I don't understand why you would bitch about something that has no impact on your life. You didn't pay the car note. You don't have to be, I mean, ain't nobody asking for no money to make these things happen. Then nothing about this conversation has anything to do with you personally. Why are you complaining about that? That's it. I don't understand it. So then he says, you can't attract a woman you're interested in. It's like you're a ghost. Again, because you're overreaching. And you didn't win the genetic lottery. That means you're ugly. And you didn't have social networking connections, because that means you a basement dwelling troll, and the only place that you have friends is online. That's what that means. So you need to get off your computer, get your ass in a suit or some shit, do something with that scraggly beard you got, put some cosmetics on your face and, hit the gym a little bit, tighten up that shit, that meat you got hanging everywhere. Take your ass somewhere and make some friends. Go to the gym, go out for drinks with beards and shit with the dudes that you play basketball with and work out with. I mean, do something to make you, get you some business cards and start handing them out. Go to networking events. Go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings. Do something with yourself. Other than sit there and complain about what you don't have, get off your whining ass and make some shit happen. That's what women like. Men are about something, who talk about it and then be about it. Y'all just want to sit online and whine. Who you think wants to fuck a man who whines and stuff like a 2-year-old? That shit is not sexy. That's not sexy at all. It's just like gross and disgusting. Okay. So then he whines some more. No one sees you if you're an ordinary, hard-working guy. Again, not true. Even women at 3 to 6 on the scale, broke women, are holding out for the fantasy tall man who does not exist in the real world. Not just taller than her, he's got to be over 6'2". Okay, whatever. Character does not matter. You cannot be a basic single guy and expect women to see you. Your average income of $35,000 to $40,000 doesn't get you looks from women. Your 1-bedroom apartment, your normal job, your basic clothes. You're 5'7" with a savings account, but you're unmarriageable. Okay. A woman sees you walking down the street, or at a grocery store, or at a party or whatever. Please explain to me what psychic thing you think she has going on that makes her know all of this stuff about you and use that as a reason to reject you when she hasn't said a word to you and you haven't said a word to her. Please explain that to me. Because see, to me, this makes no sense. He's sitting there, you know, coming to all these conclusions, jumped to all these conclusions to complain about some shit. No woman knows where you live. You know, she don't know what kind of work you do. She doesn't know that you only have basic clothes. I mean, why? How is she supposed to know all of this? See what I mean? He just just trying to reach for reasons why he got rejected when there's really only one. You know, because I mean, I'll go through some more of this, but basically, there's only one reason why a woman rejects you. You don't turn her on. You're just not her type, and that's nothing really to complain about or make a video about. You just have to wait around or go places, position yourself so that you're in a position to be seen by women who might be interested in you. If you sitting there thinking that you're going to get a Beyonce or, you know, Kelly's or, you know, somebody, I don't know who these new people are, you know, these little girls, you know, they be changing every 2 to 10 minutes. And you think you're going to get somebody that looks like that with your little funny looking 5'4" self, then you need a reality check. That's not for you. That's for the alpha dudes. That's who's going to get those kind of women, not you. And you could dream about them, jack off to them, cry over about them, look at them pictures in the magazine, whatever you want to do. It's never going to happen. It's not for you. That's not for you. So you need to, you know, lower your expectations to something more realistic, and then you can have a woman. And then he went through the typical, you know, women only want thugs thing, and unless you a gutter, low life, shiftless, unambitious man lacking intelligence and discipline and integrity and prone to vice and violence and thuggery, or you have to be rich and handsome and balling out of control and, you know, like a drug dealer or something, then he feels like you have to be at one of those extremes if you're going to get a woman. And my thing is this, okay, if you're one of the dudes in the middle, what is it? Why are you even looking at women who want dudes who wants to fuck around with a dude who's unambitious and wears dirty wife beaters? I mean, why is that even coming into the conversation? See, that would be like me sitting there talking about, you know, all these dudes want is women that are, you know, have 5 kids and who've been in prison and have tattoos and you know, want to fight and have knife marks on their face and who bite their nails and who fart. Yeah, okay. Why would I complain about those kind of women when I know that, you know what I mean? I'm not, that ain't me. And so it's like, why would I compare myself to women like that and then feel bad because men want that instead of me? For real? See what I mean? It's like what you got. It's like when people have really super low self-esteem, they seek reasons to feel rejected and hurt. And that's exactly what this guy is doing. A lot of black women do the same thing. You know, I've talked about that in that, what was that video called? Oh, cognitive dissonance. How they will go online and find stories about how, you know, black celebrity men are dating interracially or only want light-skinned women or something. I mean, you know, they find some shit and then like put their own spin on it to try to make themselves feel rejected and hurt. And I'm not really sure what the sickness is there, but this is exactly the same mentality here, but it's on the male side. But it's the same thing. They want to find reasons that really have nothing to do with them personally, that will never, ever, ever really impact their life, not one iota, but they want to, you know, use this as a reason to feel hurt and rejected and abandoned and, you know, undesirable and all this stuff. It's like they go out looking for shit to hurt themselves. And I don't understand that kind of mentality, because to me, it's like, even if it's in my face, it's still not going to hurt my feelings, because I think I'm the shit. It don't matter what anybody else says, as long as I think it, that's all that counts. So, you know, I don't know what to say. So he feels you have to be one of them 2 extremes, otherwise you just don't get any attention from women. Then this is when it got real interesting, because then he decides that he's going to dog out the dudes who decided that this is not, you know, they were tired of being rejected and tired of being alone and tired of not having no pussy and tired of not having somebody to cuddle with at night. Okay, so this is what happened. So then he says, but bothers me the most is that after a guy has worked hard, he's likely to wife up a Laquanique or Taekwondo after she been ran through and had a bunch of kids, or a Laura or a Deborah, yes, he did use my name, who's been run through by thugs and unintegral men. you will think that you have a prize and that you won the lottery with this undeserving woman. Okay, so what he's doing now is he's putting himself in a position to tell other men what kind of woman that they should want for themselves. These are grown-ass men in their 30s and 40s listening to some fucker online, mad because he don't have no trim, and he wants them to be just as lonely and just as unloved and just as unwhatever as he is. And I'll share you why I say that in a minute. So he says, well, the problem is you think women are better than you. What will you have? Okay, listen to this very carefully. You think women are better than you. What will you have to show for all the hard work you put in over the years, all the rejection that you've encountered, just to take care of and wife up and pay for the mistakes that some woman has made? You want to help her take care of her kids. This is the epitome of weakness and sickness. How sick do you have to be to have endured so much in your life to take care of a foul, whorish, disease-ridden, unintegral woman? See, he was wearing that word out. How weak do you have to be? You let your need for companionship take over. You have no pride. What kind of man says that to another man? What kind of man would listen to him? Let's start there. Because, I was really appalled, because the thing about it is, dude, whatever your standards are for yourself, that's fine. And it's great that you share them. I mean, that's what we do on YouTube. We share our opinions. But you have no right to put down another man's choice like that. If he finds love in a woman just because she has children before, that doesn't make her a bad person. That doesn't make her, like a hideous beast or anything. It just makes her a woman who had kids. And if she may have had them by the same man, she may have been married and divorced. She may have been married and the dude died. She could have been with the man for 10, 15, 20 years, even if they didn't get married. She could have been with him for 1 year and then, they broke up, but it's still, whatever is the situation, it's not your business. It doesn't hurt you one bit. It's not costing you no money. It's not costing you no time. It's not hurting anything about you. It's not ruining your dating chances. It has no impact on your existence, your life, your money, your wallet, your property, nothing. What some other man does with his dick and his time with his woman, they have nothing to do with you. So he's sitting there like insulting these guys because they got to a point where they decided that, some compromise might be necessary. And don't think that I'm just the only one. I made a whole video myself about, compromise and versus settling for women, because I thought there were a lot of ladies who were confused about, some of their standards and some stuff that was just unrealistic. So this is not, I don't just pick on men here. I dug in the women's asses about this too. But, for him to, but you don't go to this extreme. I've never done this, and it's like I never would. I always say in my videos, you grown, do you. Do I not say that? And it's like, I try to, like, if this is a problem you're having, this is how Deb suggests that you, fix the problem or avoid it in the future. But if you choose to do something that, that maybe you decided that, you can put up with it, I mean, that's your choice. You're an adult. I'm not going to, try to tell you that you're going to be with a man who's a whore, disease laden, and that you have no pride and all this old stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this guy something's wrong with him. How dare you insult your listeners like that? And he says, it doesn't make a man feel good to see that he must be a complete package already and be what he aspires to be just to merit the attention and admiration of the women he sees. Why does that make you feel bad? What makes you think someone want to sign on to struggle with your nigga ass? Please, I don't think so. And it's the thing that really just drives me crazy. It's like every country in the world, young men strive to be a husband. They strive to get property, cows, ducks, goats, land. I mean, whatever it is they're trying to do, they build up the money. They want to do, they know when they get married, they need to have something to offer the bride. And sometimes they gotta, give her parents money or take care of the parents, depending on the culture. They know they have to come into the marriage with something. You don't just show up empty-handed talking about, you want this woman. It don't work like that. Only black men think that they supposed to just, have somebody helping them all the time and struggling along with them, and then, that's supposed to be the relationship. A woman can certainly do that if she chooses. See, again, this is you. This is your choice. But if you choose not to, if you choose that to have a man who is a complete package before you sign on and align your life with him, you have every right to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't ever let somebody tell you that it is. If a man had any fucking pride about himself, he would want to be a complete package before he approached you. Coming up with his pockets empty and this, talking about what he shoulda, woulda, coulda, maybe, wanna. No. What you doing, nigga? What you doing? What you done? Let's talk about that. I don't want to talk about your dreams and your, the shit that you talked about when you be high, drunk, stupid. I mean, laying in your bed or whatever. What are you doing in the real world? What are you doing to make this shit come true? I want proof. I want to see it. And how far along on this path are you? I'm not going to be on the struggle path with you. That I've never done that. Now, even when I was young, I didn't do the struggle path. Every man that I got with had some shit happening before I got with him. And then, I might help him get more, but I'm not going to be the one to help you get the train rolling. No, you're going to do that by yourself. So then he says, well, when she says there's no more good men available, it's her fault why she's single. I don't know about fault, but whatever she says is a good man. And if she's not seeing you as a good man, then that means you don't meet her standard. I mean, that's not tough. That's not hard to understand. You're not a good man to her. Now, you might be a good man to someone else. I'm not saying that you're a bad person, but I'm saying that you're not a good man in her eyes. She don't see you. That's why you're invisible to her, because you don't meet her standards. Everyone has standards. And just like she's single, so are you, monkey. You know what I mean? Look in the mirror. Do you see a ring on your finger? Do you have a Mrs. laying in your bed? You just as single as she is, so shut the fuck up. So then he closes out with, well, when she settles for you and realizes that she can't attract that 6 foot tall dude, after she's all run through, she'll finally look your way. And then he says to the dudes, and what you should do is walk away and continue to be the honorable man. What he means is, so a woman decides that she's grown up now. She realizes that, you are the type of man that she wants. Or maybe perhaps over the years you've matured and changed. See, that's what happens a lot too, that guys don't ever think about. They think, well, suddenly now she wants me. But just think, are you the same man that you were 15, 20 years ago? I mean, there's a lot of things about you that should have changed. And so if a woman is interested in you now and she wasn't before, don't you ever think that, you've grown and matured, you've had some different life experiences, you've learned things, you approached life differently, and now maybe you're more attractive to her, more interesting? That never crossed your mind? It always has to be something wrong with her. It can't be that you've changed and now that you've become more attractive and interesting because of it. So see, their thinking processes are kind of all fucked up. That's what I see. But to tell some man that he should walk away from a woman who wants to be with him and love him and have his kids and, be his mate and take care of his home and cook and clean with him and, kiss and love, make love with him and stuff, that he should walk away from that to please you, nigga, for real? That's some like homo shit right there. You think some dude's gonna be all on your jock instead of all up in somebody's pussy? You tripping. That's my take on it, and I don't know what else to say about these dudes, but I just had to give my assessment and a reality check for these guys who listen to this kind of nonsense. Y'all really better make a decision. Either you're gonna be all in the man crew, all up on some dude's jock and listening to him and worrying about what he's doing, or you're gonna put your brain in your head and think for yourself for a change. If a woman has been with somebody else and you love her, if she was a stripper and you love her, if she was unemployed and you love her, I mean, go where your heart is, okay? Go where your heart is and stop listening to knickknacks on YouTube, and you'll be a much happier person. Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com signing out. Now that you've seen some of the grade A content that's offered on the Debsterism channel by advice columnist and author Deborrah Cooper, please become a subscriber. Just click the subscribe button below, then click the little bell symbol that you'll see. By doing that, you'll be sent notifications directly to your cell phone right after new content is uploaded, so you can be one of the very first people to see the new videos and to comment on them. So please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please share a link and tell a friend. If you can do all those things, I'll love you.